Welcome back, everybody, and today we got a lot to finish. Yeah, it's gonna be part two of, well, those guys let me. Yeah, part two of me just making this the best Create factory ever. And so far, so good. I've started to connect some of these cables to places, but I realized, well, I don't actually told you guys how these guys properly work yet. So let's go ahead and do it. So basically we have this bad boy, which is going to be our brain, and I connected to our main system over here. And I even made some 256k crafting storages, so we have a decent amount of crafting storage over here, or RAM as I like to call it. We have a starter setup for these machines. I'll have to replace these later down the line for better system. Basically these guys, I want to replace them by separate inscribers. This one I can leave as is, this universal with the universal press. This guy works fine, but this one somehow whenever he puts these things, they get mixed up and they end up in different slots. I don't know if I can lock that or something, but yeah, it gets messy. So I'll probably separate these 4 recipes into 4 different inscribers. I believe that's the best way to deal with that right now. We do have these walls of ME drives, which is later when I have a bunch more resources, hopefully I can fill with a bunch more cells. Right now I have 4 256k disk drives, and I'm using disk drives from AE Editions because I don't want to have to deal with types. Because if I want to do the 256k, if I want to do the upgrade for this, and I move to the 1 mega, the megas go back into types, and I don't want to have to deal with types. So yeah, I don't want to have to deal with that. And this is for source, this is for portable fluids. I believe I searched for all of them and they were all basically just having types, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. Yep, as you guys can see. So I'm using the 256k. If we fill all of these, yeah, we should be fine. Now, how does this massive computer actually work? Well, basically it's pretty simple. If you have P2P tunnels, you want to put it in all the faces. Each face has 8 sides. And then you want to link each one of the faces into another P2P tunnel. And how do you do that? You do that with a memory card. Basically, what you do is, for example, if you shift right click this P2P tunnel with a memory card, it's going to record that frequency, that D048 that you see at the top. It's going to record that one. And then you just normal right click into this P2P tunnel. So it has the same frequency, so now they're connected. So wherever I connect to this tunnel, it's gonna technically be connected to this face, which can hold up to 8 connections. Not 8, I believe it's actually like more. No, it's 8. Yeah, what am I saying? It's 8. Yeah, each face holds up to 8 carried channels. It's one of the reasons why this side only has 8 drives. This side only has 8 drives. Now here, luckily, the molecular assemblers do not count, but the pattern providers do count. So I have 8 pattern providers and 8 molecular assemblers here for this Pidavano, and you can see it's carrying 8 channels. Now here it's carrying, I believe it says 7 channels. Yeah, 7, because it's 1, 2, 3. And I have like these extra 1Ks, which I can remove, but for now they're also 1, 2, and 3, so 6. And we have our wireless access point, which then becomes 7. This one is 8, this one is 8 as well. This one is holding 7, probably 1 for each machine, but this one requires like 1 for each pattern provider, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then I need these import buses for the charger and for the furnace. So 2 extra ones, and one of you guys actually told me that you can actually do auto export in these inscribers, which is very handy because then it does not require the import bus, which is very helpful. And then of course these are 8 crafting storages or RAM, so 8 channels. Then I went up with some of my cables, and I can show you through here. We have like a small management area where we have access to these controllers, which we can take a dense cable out of that can hold a lot of faces, basically. Each one of these controllers, as you guys can see here, holds up to 8 faces. So I can use up to 8 faces from every single one of those controllers, which is pretty good. Basically, I already took one up all the way up to here, so I can start connecting to like these drawers that I moved in from that other house into here. And now I have a storage bus looking into this drawer controller. I did hook this up to a priority of 5, which means whenever I'm importing something, it will prioritize importing into here if the item is from here, which is pretty good. Which means I don't need to put things in my computer that they don't need to be in my computer if they can just be held in a drawer. This one is not that important, but I also moved it up so we have this guy connected into here, because you can see we have a bunch of different ores that we may later want to use as well. But then, of course, the most important part begins, which is the create stuff. Yes, and the create stuff, at least this area, is now fully linked, except for those guys, which I can technically link. And I probably will link because they're 4 different things. So was the import, so 8, so I can just use one face or one P2P tunnel, and I can hook up smelting, haunting, smoking, and washing all in one P2P tunnel, which is pretty good. But I also hooked up all of these machines, as you guys can see from up here. Now, for example, as I told you guys the last episode, I did need to try and circumvent the mechanism creation. The way I did it is by actually telling them to do 5 in one go, and they expect a minimum of 1. So at least 1 will always come out of that recipe, pretty sure. It's very, very unlikely that it doesn't. But for starters, let's go. Let's tell them, yeah, I want you to craft 1. So as you guys can see, it will start inputting things into here. And it's not even going to be finished when I will get the pop-up that 1 has been made. Yeah, 1 has been already made, and then even if some of these end up not giving me what I want, which it didn't happen this time, there would still be at least 1 that went through. Yeah, you can see we got 5, but if 1 just went through, is enough for the process to be completed and just doesn't need to wait in case something goes wrong. How did I do this? Well, pretty simply. As you guys can see, I told him 1 precision mechanism equals 5 gold plates, 25 cogwheels, large cogwheels, iron nuggets. These guys, they're pretty easy to filter. All you need to do is just put the item in the side. So small cogwheels, large cogwheels, and iron nuggets into here. And then you just, well, take these items out. And then I had to put that guy with an advanced upgrade with a filter for gold plates. So only gold plates will end up in this chest, and the process does itself. And then we have an importer. I did already add a cogwheel because one of the crafts gave me a spare cogwheel, so I added it into here. So in case this craft gives me a cogwheel, it's gonna go back up into the system. Then the next step is actually doing the acacia logs. These are pretty simple. You input log here, regular log here, then it gets crafted, and then you just import it back. Oh, I don't want to do that. Yeah, and you input the acacia logs back. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Those are basic. I mean, this one is basic. This one was a little bit tricky. Then you come up to this one, which is the one I'm currently setting, and I'm gonna set this one with you guys, and I'm also going to set this one with you guys. Now, this one's gonna be a little bit straightforward. This one is the press. So whenever we need like any sort of press, all we gotta do is tell it to, well, input it into here and expect it over here. So actually we can go ahead. Yeah, you can see I already have acceleration cards, so it's a lot faster. So let's start with those and set up a bunch of press materials. So for example, the iron plate, you just go into this recipe and click encode pattern. It tells you 1 iron ingot equals 1 iron plate. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Now, for example, if we do this, it's not really gonna tell me like what are you expecting to do with a brass ingot. So ideally, you do come into here, search for the recipe that you want, and you add it into here as well. Now we have two. We have the iron plate, we got the brass plate. So we go into a copper plate now. So I'm gonna do this recipe because it doesn't require hammers and durabilities and stuff like that. And is there any other type of plate that I need to do? Let me just check. We got brass. Oh yeah, of course, the gold plates. Did I forget? And boom. So we got all of these. And all I really need to do now with my system is just go into the right chest, just this one, and boom, there we go. Now, of course, this side, this is gonna do the casings here. Now, how am I gonna do the casings here? I told it to only output logs into here, and then to only output andesite alloys, copper ingots, and brass ingots into this guy right here. So basically, I need to give them the three recipes that I have hooked up there. So let's type here casings, and let's go for, yeah, this one. Gonna input one acacia log, it's gonna input one brass ingot, and it's gonna expect one brass casing. This is standard. It's gonna do the same for this one, and it's gonna do the same for this one. So all of these three things are now hooked up into our system, and we can actually go ahead and test this. If we, let's say, remove all the brass casings and we tell it, well, give me 100 brass casings, it's going to craft 3 logs. Actually, I want to see those. So let's go here. So casing, let's sell, let's say 200. Do 200 of these. Yeah, as you can see, it's gonna hop in, it's gonna get inputted in, and yep, it's putting the brass where it needs to be, and it's also putting the logs where they need to be, and then they're getting imported in, which is, well, perfect. Now I think I should make this chest just bigger, just in case, and maybe this one can't be bigger. By default is storage is only 64. So yeah, but I should make this chest a little bit bigger so it never like super overly gets like super full, but it shouldn't be an issue. Oh yeah, then I also use the single P2P tunnel to go into here and also have access to our andesite alloys, you know, because we need to craft things, right? Oh, of course, and all the cogwheels and stuff like that, they're already being crafted here, like cogwheels, gearboxes, and shafts and alloys. They can also be crafted here if needed be, but they should never be needed to be crafted anymore. We should have enough. Also, another one of the recipes. Oh, there we go. The 200 are made. Very important recipes that I made is for wool, because we do have flax and fluffy puffs farms, I guess, with the botany pots. So I taught myself how to make the wool with those guys from here. So it comes in here, picks these guys up, and actually does wool for me, which is pretty good. We do have access to now kelp, so we can make belts galore. So when we hook that up, we got cactus, we got the bamboo, and of course we got these two, the glowstone and the quartz seeds. They're here also whenever we need glowstone. You can try and pick up from here. We may need a second botany pot to get more glowstone, and also a little bit of quartz we can get from here, even though I made a little bit of a change to get faster quartz. And that change was here in soon to be radically changed starter base. Yeah, here. I basically took this drawer and I split it into auto traders with 2 flux researchers. Now this one is making me flux crystals and this one is making me certus quartz. So if we can maybe link this somehow into our system, we have access to pretty much infinite certus and infinite flux just by letting these guys trade. Now I am losing emeralds as it is. I noticed because I had 10,000 when I started this, and even though it's making very large amounts of certus and flux crystals, we probably could add like a few extra farmers up here very easily and have this guy not lose emeralds, because that can be an issue whenever we run out of emeralds and we're using a bunch of quartz. Now, the next step is to link up the upstairs area over here, because we do also need to link up this so we have access to our amazing amounts of brass. And we also need to link up into here, into this room right here, because we do have like a bunch of resources here, like as the iron, redstone and stuff like that. Of course, we also have obsidian here that we want to probably put into our system as well. And that also leaves me with this room, because we have casings automated downstairs with a single machine. I was gonna make a bunch of machines here, but I don't really need to, so I do have an empty room as it is, and I really don't know what I need to automate extra from create. Like, is there any other resource that I probably need to automate? Oh, there is. Yeah, I just seen it. Train tracks. We probably will be needing to automate these train tracks somehow. That will probably require some iron farm of some sorts to be here as well. But that shouldn't really be that hard. Yes, I do want to make train tracks, because I do have plans for trains and even monorails that I'm not really seeing the monorail here for some reason. Yeah, there it is. The monorails, and they also take a different recipe, because they do, they take metal girders and brackets and stuff like that. Okay, that's interesting. So we might need to dabble a little bit into this as well. But there's some priorities first, because that room can wait a little bit. We also have this one upstairs that's empty, but this one will not be emptied for long, because all the machines that we have over there, as you guys can see, for mechanism and stuff like that, they will come up here, and we'll be automating those up here as well with our system. We will be putting these guys connected to our system as well, but there's one thing that's really bothering me. That's the fact that this guy's actually not doing anything, even though we can, but it's not, because it does not have any, well, it doesn't have any any blaze rods in him as it is, because we don't have it set up to get the items from our mob farm over here and back into there. And why is that? Well, that's basically because we do not have our storage system reach all the way over here, right? Because it's kind of far away, as you guys can see. And I do not want to run a cable, but we can do quantum ring. And I think I just spelled it wrong. Yeah, there you go. We can do a quantum ring. Now, this takes energy cells and dense cells and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try and automate those, because I really don't know how many I'm not automated, but how many rings I'm going to need the whole series. So it's best that if I just automate it. Now, of course, to make our quantum rings work, there's one thing that is needed, and that is a singularity. Now, a singularity is made by a bunch of items being dumped into a matter condenser, and that will give us singularities. Now, I don't know how many I'm going to need, so I'm going to hook up a small system over here that's going to do it for me. Basically, we can do it with anything. We do need to just make sure that this is into matter balls. Yeah, singularities, as you can see, 256,000. So it needs really 256 buckets to do this. So it shouldn't be that hard. I only need to find my wrench. Here it is. And it should technically start receiving. Oh, I do believe that this needs power. Silly me. Okay, so hopefully this should solve the issue. Yep, there we go. Basically, it only needs a 64k component to do the recipe right here. Now, it is pretty slow. It is. There's actually something that you can do to make it a little bit better. if we, for example, get rid of that one, we put it in more in line with the center here. And basically what you want to be doing is, for example, let's say we put a sink here. Yeah, let's put a sink here, put a cable here, and put a condenser here. And then we do that. Now we should also get more pipes and put them in all faces like so. And we need more pipes. Yeah, you can see now it's going, well, a lot faster, but it's actually not able to handle with a single sink. So we can make a second one, hopefully. Oh boy. Yep, as you can see now this pipe is completely filled up, which means this guy is going at max speed, which means if we actually turn it into not matter balls, I guess this was a quest line, but that's not what I intended to do. No, yeah, we want this one to go through, and you can see it's a lot faster, so it shouldn't take long for us to get a singularity. So now that I have the singularity over here, all I believe I need to do is put it together with an ender pearl. So do we have an ender pearl? We can tell our system to make one. So let's go ahead and make a single ender pearl. So hopefully it's not gonna blow up anything. I really hope it doesn't. And please don't blow anything. Yep, there we go. We got the smaller singularities, the quantum entangled singularities. Now I'm gonna name these real quick so I don't mix them up with anything that I shouldn't. Because if we end up like messing them up, it can be bad, you know, because they're linked together. Even though they're linked, even though they doesn't actually say that, they are definitely linked. So storage, and now there's storage, which means I shouldn't be mixing up any of these with any other ones. Now that means we need to make our quantum chamber right here. How am I gonna do it? Well, I don't really know. I might just remove this P2P tunnel, this extra P2P tunnel, because I don't believe I'm gonna need this particular one. So I believe I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna remove that one. But then it just messes everything up. Yeah. I'm gonna have to try and come up with a way of doing this. It's not gonna mess up anything. Hopefully I can do this. I'll try some things and come back to you guys. So this is the moment of truth. We do this. We hook this guy up. It does actually say system online. So is it really though? Well, that is online, but this one is offline. Oh, because it's not actually linked to anything. Oh, because I do believe to come out of here, it does need a regular ME cable. Like the regular version. This one. So give me some of the... Yeah. Or wait, was I just being derp? Yeah, I was being a derp. Never mind. And we put that guy there. And it says it's missing a channel. Okay. It's missing a channel. Missing a channel. Hold up. It's gonna be hard. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Yes, basically, as you can see, it is working. So I believe wherever I put this, it will actually work. Now, the way it is right now, it's not ideal. Let's just say it like that. Because do I have a warp stone? No, I need to make a warp stone. But video warp stone is gonna be easier, or a waystone. Yeah, let's just do this bad boy. real quick. So basically, what's happening right now? I have this thing linked. Now, it's not linked as I want it to be, I think, because it is connecting to something that only has a single channel available. Yeah, right now I hooked it up down there. But as you guys can see, this is a place that already has 7 channels. Now I'll have to test it out probably with this crafting storage. Actually, I can hook it up there perfectly. Yep, as expected, it is now full with 8 carried channels, which is not ideal for a couple of reasons. Basically means that I don't have a really good access to stuff. I only have 1 channel, so I will be moving this out of here. This is smooth stone, but I do already have a place in mind that can probably hold this quite well. That is up here, because I do have this in the middle, which I don't really know what to do with, and I guess it's gonna be our quantum chamber, because it's really nothing else that it should or could be. I only need a dense cable, and this is gonna be very, very tricky, because I believe I need a dense cable. I need to put that there, so that guy will link later. As soon as I put this should have linked. It did. Now I should do this, and hopefully this thing down here did not turn red. It didn't. That one didn't as well, which means we should be okay. Let me just check. Does it say online? It does say online. So we should, in theory, be linked to these faces up here. All of these 8 faces, which would give us a lot more to work with, of course. That just a single channel. We now have like, what, 64 channels? That's a whole lot better. But let me just confirm that's the case. It does say online, but we do not have access to anything. It says it's online. It is actually connecting, but it's not connecting to this system. Why is that? I don't know. I have a theory on it though, which I really hope it's wrong. Okay, luckily I was wrong, and basically I thought that I would not be able to get access, but yes, I am able to get access. I just forgot that I needed a P2P tunnel to actually, well, tell it, well, this is something, right? Okay, that's a whole lot easier and a whole lot better, which means now that we have our beautiful factory pretty much ready. There's only a couple missing spaces and a couple empty areas that we need to flesh out a little bit more. But yeah, this is our create factory pretty much full and up and running. Of course, there's still upgrades and stuff that's gonna come in here. I'm not gonna leave most of these places empty. We're gonna maybe try and hook up some automations to that and stuff like these. We're definitely gonna have more drawers and more mystical agriculture seeds, so there's still plenty of work to do in here, as well as connecting all of these rooms to our storage system, basically connecting to its storage buses to these things, so we have access to all of these items. But that's mostly it for now, and that's actually all the time we're gonna have for today. That is our create factory coming to life. Now I can tell it to do anything, and hopefully it will do it for me without any hiccups or anything. But as always, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and see ya in the next one. Bye.